Okay guys, we're back with part 2 of episode 2 of Voodoo's Thoughts. Speaking about the Asking Alexandria situation right now after their giant collapse in Seattle. So, as I was saying, I'm going to go see them for a 4th time, and I really hope that, that Danny is able to get his life back on track. I think if he goes to real rehab, that's why rehab doesn't take 9 days. Like it's been since that show. It takes, 40, 60 days, something like that. I think if he goes to real rehab and he gets out and he's clean for a few months after that, then I'm going to believe that he turned it around. And I'm really hoping he does, just for, the band's sake and for, him as a human being. I mean, and especially even for my sake, because I would hate to have to scratch this band off of bands that I can support, considering nowadays when I've had to scratch, I'm starting to scratch off all the ones that I used to love when I first got into this music. I mean, Attack, they're not even the same band anymore. They were the first band that I listened to get into this music. Someday Came Suddenly, I believe it was in '08 that album came out, and now their music is completely different, and the band members are completely different. It's not even the same sound or the same members. It's a completely different band. I think they should even change their name. So that's gone. I don't like their new stuff at all. I See Stars now is garbage. Their first album was great, and then their second album just came out, and now they're like, a little bit hardened version of the Jonas Brothers, and so they're scratched. I almost was about to scratch with Mice and Men until Jeffrey Rush douchebag finally, got replaced again by Austin Carlisle. I don't actually know if Rush was fired or he left or whatever, but Austin's coming back, thank God, to make the second album, because I was about to scratch that because Jeffrey Rush is complete crap. And he has absolutely no right bashing Austin Carlisle. I actually saw a video where he was bashing Austin Carlisle at a Of Mice and Men concert, and he's a giant douchebag, and Sky's Airplane, in my opinion, is god-awful, and he's also god-awful, so I almost had to scratch them. So, and A Day to Remember, they're my all-time favorite. I'm nowhere, I'm not even thinking about scratching them right now, but their latest album, What Separates Me From You, or You From Me, whatever the hell, unfortunately that album looks like they're tending more and more to start going softer and softer. There's only like 3 or 4 songs off that album I even listen to. The rest I think is garbage. So, they're unfortunately starting to get to that point, and, so the last thing I want to do is have to not, allow myself to purchase anything else of Asking Alexandria, is just because I can't support a band that's going to put a guy like Danny on stage. And, like I said, it's really not fair to the rest of the band members, but, like I said, it's their responsibility to do something about this at this point. Either, like I said, they've got to get Danny through rehab and have him come out on the other side sober, or they're going to have to kick his ass out. There's really no other option for them. This can't continue that way. And like I said, this should have been done. This should have been addressed by an ultimatum years ago. It never should have gotten to the point that it got to, a week and a half ago. Never, where he was being dragged off stage by security because he couldn't even fucking function. So, it shouldn't have gotten to that point, but obviously it has now, and they have a decision to make. I looked at their tour dates. They're basically touring all year. They're touring around the country up until the summer. Then they're doing Warped, and then they're doing a world tour. They're going to Europe. They're going to Asia. So I don't know when the hell they plan on getting this guy help, because they're touring constantly this entire year. I would even say that at this point they need to cancel tour dates. I would say after Vans, that they need to say, I'm sorry guys, we're going to cancel because we got to get Danny help. I mean, this isn't something that can sit around and wait an entire year. He needs help now, and that band needs help. I mean, they just released a new album. I mean, this happened last week, 5 days before the release of their new album. That's the last thing that this band wanted, was all that negative publicity right as a new album and a new tour is launching, also when they're going to be a big band on Warped this year. So this is the last thing this band needed, but in my opinion, it's their own fault. I keep saying it's not really Bruce's fault and all that other stuff. That's true to an extent, but it's also true to an extent that they are to be held accountable for not getting this guy help sooner, and honestly, for not kicking this guy out. I mean, I love Danny's vocals, I really do. I think, like I said, I think he's one of the best out there right now. But I can't, you know, support him when he's gonna do this and be a complete asshole to his bandmates, to his fans, and to everybody associated with him. I can't support that. So, you know, hopefully stuff works out. Hopefully he gets help. But if he doesn't, then if he stays in the band and this kind of stuff continues, you know, we're going to find out at Warp this year, really, if he's trying, at least. I don't know, but we'll find out. And, you know, like I said, if this continues and they don't do anything about it, unfortunately, I'm going to stop sending them my money, because I don't want to give money to Danny for him to go use it to get fucked up. So, alright, that's it for episode 2 of Voodoo's Thoughts. Obviously this was kind of more for a niche crowd, not a very large crowd, but it was something that I wanted to say to get off my chest. And, you know, best of luck. I support them right now. I'm fully behind them. I support Bruce and that whole band. And, you know, I throw my entire support behind Danny as well. I really do. I really hope that he goes through rehab and cleans up. I hope and pray. You know, that he is gonna come out of this okay, and this can continue, and he can change his life. I really do. So I throw my support behind him in rehab. But the key is he's got to try. You know, he's got to put in the effort. Danny himself, at the end of the day, it comes down to him and him alone. He's the one that's got to put in the effort to make a change. So here's hoping that happens. I'm Voodoo51292. Thank you for watching the second episode of Voodoo's Thoughts. Be sure to leave comments and messages for me if you have anything to add or say about this episode. And I'll see you guys next time when we do episode 3 of Voodoo's Thoughts.